Good evening, my lords, ladies and gentlemen, good evening, and welcome to Westminster Chapel. It's my great honour to introduce Lord Ashcroft and invite him to the stage.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening and welcome. It's wonderful to have such a distinguished crowd. But let's start by watching a 90-second video, which is up here somewhere.
Who is Nigel Farage? How did the great disruptor of British politics become the man he is today? Farage is the only person in the modern era to steer two different political parties to victory in successive national elections. A populist, equally at home on I'm a Celebrity and GB News, as he is debating the European Convention on Human Rights. And now he wants to be Prime Minister. So how did a self-styled outsider, dismissed and written off after 7 failed attempts to get elected to Parliament, become the most consequential political figure in Britain today? Can he turn a political startup into an election-winning machine that appeals to both the left and the right? And could he actually bring unity to Britain? The Farage Factor charts Farage's extraordinary life from co-founding UKIP in 1993 through Brexit to the political force he is today, with unparalleled access to those who know him best. It examines Reform UK's rise, its internal battles, and its real prospects for power. Whether you admire him, are sceptical of him, or simply can't look away, you need to understand him, because Nigel Farage isn't going anywhere. The Farage Factor, Reform UK, and the Remaking of British Politics by Lord Ashcroft, out on the 15th of June. Available to purchase from Amazon, Biteback, and all good bookstores.
Very much, and I'm delighted to be here with all of you tonight to mark the publication of the Farage Factor. Book launches are a time to express gratitude to others who have helped in various ways, and there are a few people to whom I'd just like to say a quick public thank you. First, to my many sources who contributed to this book, both publicly and anonymously. Thank you. Next, I must thank my publishers, Biteback, one of the most professional book publishers I've ever come across in my career, and it is only a mere coincidence that I own the company. Equally, I hope you enjoy any of your wines tonight, the sparkling English wine, the red or the white of your choices. Again, it is one of Britain's premier wines, Gusbourne, again owned by me, and I hope that you enjoy it. I'm also grateful to Angela Entwistle and her team for arranging tonight's event and helping to promote the book. And certainly I must thank the Mail titles and their editors, Ted Verity and David Dillon, for their wonderful serialization of the book. I should start off first by saying how pleased I am that Nigel Farage himself is with us tonight. He is only one of 2 victims of my biographies that have attended the book launch. The other is Jacob Rees-Mogg, and I think I spotted him earlier here this evening. Nigel, of course, did ask me to stump up a couple of million to cover his security costs, but even I had to draw a line at that request. Nigel and I go back 20 years, and we've been good friends over that time. And we have a couple of interests in common. We're passionate supporters of Ukraine, and in a quirky one, we are supporters of the independence of Somaliland. And I was in Tel Aviv yesterday interviewing the president of Somaliland, and will be writing about it. But seriously, life's all about timing, and the timing of this project has been very fortuitous. There's no way I could have known this book was going to be published in such a momentous week for Nigel and for Reform UK. The Makerfield by-election on Thursday is perhaps the most consequential of our lifetimes. It could help pave the way for a new and transformational Prime Minister, or on the other hand, we get Andy Burnham. For me, fingers crossed that Kemi continues to make her mark. As we all know, the political future of the country could be decided in Makerfield. That fact goes to show what a pivotal figure Nigel has become some 32 years to the month after he first stood in a by-election himself for his old party, UKIP. It's also why working on this book has been such great fun. And although my allegiance remains with Kemi as head of the Conservative Party, is why I find Nigel such a fascinating friend and a fascinating person. He has never given up, and now we see the results. If Labour lose in Makerfield, the next general election is going to be blown wide open. If Labour win in Makerfield and Andy Burnham becomes Labour leader and Prime Minister, Reform UK will have had something to do with that turn of events, having campaigned in the recent local elections with the slogan, vote for reform, get Starmer out. Whatever happens, this is a fascinating time to be involved in politics, not least as a pollster. And it's important for me to mention that my surveys are very different to mainstream pollsters. Since I asked people how likely, a bit of heckling at the back there, I didn't know Zia was here. My surveys are different from most, since I asked people how likely they think they are to vote for each party at the next election on a scale of 0 to 100, rather than what they would do in an imaginary election tomorrow. So I hope I collect within my data the strength of each of the votes. And perhaps that's one reason why I'm a little closer in the gap between Reform and the other parties. And this does produce different results, which some people don't like at all. Zia Yusuf, for example, welcome Zia if you did make it tonight, can get into a terrible tizzy about it. And that makes me wonder if he saw my survey over the weekend, in which we asked Reform members who they'd like to see as the next leader when Nigel decides to hang up his campaigning boots. In first place, by a fraction, was Zia Yusuf. Funnily enough, I haven't seen him denounce the results of that one. And one of my favorite stories about Zia, and it could be true, it may not, when asked the question, but isn't Reform UK a one-man band? His reply was, that is an outrageous statement. I get help from Nigel Farage, Richard Tice, and the whole team. And one final point is that having finished this book and spoken to most of the key players in Reform UK, I am more convinced than ever Nigel would be prepared to do a deal with the Tories in future if the circumstances demanded it. And that thought should offer some hope to those of us who want Labour out of office as soon as possible. And whichever way you spin it, Nigel and Reform UK will have done their bit to achieve that. And whilst I'm at the platform here, I'm now doing 3 books simultaneously. I'm doing the biography of Zach Polanski, the leader of the Greens. And I must say, so far, it has been fun. I'm also doing the history of the Gurkhas, having been to Nepal a couple of months ago and seen the final selection of the Gurkhas who came across to Yorkshire a few weeks ago. And I'm doing an update of my book, Unfair Game, my investigation into the captive bred lion industry in South Africa. And to that extent, especially as we have quite a number of the media here tonight, I am looking for 2 or 3 researchers and writers to help me on these projects. So would you please spread the word and ask them to get in touch with me? And I will end up by asking you to do your bit to support good causes by buying tons of copies of the Farage Factor for yourself, your family, friends, colleagues, and indeed anyone else you can think of. And that's because this struggling author in front of you is 100% committed to donating all royalties from the books that I do write to charity. And I would thank you all for coming this evening. Let's watch the political situation on Thursday, see what that result is. It is an exciting time to be involved and around politics. Thank you all for coming, and especially Nigel, thank you for coming on this day.